Hi everyone, May the 4th be with you. Welcome to week of May 4th through the 8th. We're studying the power structure of oligarchy this week. It will be similar to autocracy, however, the power structure of oligarchy is a little less clear. So please go through this PowerPoint with me or look at it through the slides on your own. Reflect on the possible advantages or disadvantages of this type of oligarchic government. So you're looking at how can it benefit and harm individuals as well as leaders. And step 3, put your knowledge to the test by taking the Oligarchy Quizlet. So oligarchy, its origins come from the Greek, meaning oligos, meaning few, and archo, meaning to rule or command, right? That archo is coming at the end of each of our power structures. So in an oligarchy, the government is a small group of people. They are either the elite or privileged, and they hold all the power. A lot of times, an oligarchy is associated with any of the following types of descriptions: a royalty, wealth, family ties, education, corporation, religion, or military. So it comes in all different shapes and forms. There are typically 2 types of oligarchy. The first is an aristocracy, which were ruled by members of a noble or upper class. A plutocracy is the second type, and that's where the rule is by the wealthy members of a community. So neither wealth nor noble birth is necessary to belong to the privileged group that rules an oligarchy. These are just some of the most common types. So in many cases, these governing elites can be hereditary. They can be passed down through families, either through nobility, right? If you're in, or through wealth. And usually there's a combination of those things. There are official versus unofficial oligarchies. So an official oligarchy is the elite group is given power by the law. So it is baked into how their government is structured. So for example, the law might give only nobility the right to vote, or a theocratic oligarchy may be ruled by a group of religious leaders. So that is built into their system. While an unofficial oligarchy have to do more with who gains power in the society. So it might have to do more with resources, even though there are laws that are saying that everyone should be treated equal. Individuals amass wealth, and they use that wealth to put themselves in a place of power by various means. So as you can see, there's a lot of gray areas, and that's why oligarchy overlaps a lot with the type of economic system you'll find. So an economic system is how a society makes or produces goods, trades these, and services. So when we're looking at capitalism, which is the economic system that we use in the United States, it's an economic system in which investment in the ownership of the means of production and exchange of wealth is done privately by individuals. And a lot of critics describe capitalism as an oligarchy because they argue that in capitalism, it ends up, the power goes into the hands of the capitalist class, the people who have really taken control over the means of production and distributing goods. So many political scientists and economics argue that the United States is an oligarchy and not a democracy. And here is a video that clearly presents that argument, and it's presented actually by an economist, a very famous one, and he draws it out in cartoons. So this is really an informative video. I suggest you look at it for capitalism. Now, a communism is another economic model in which it's the theory that all property and the means of production should be owned as a whole by the state, which is owned by the people. So this goes on to describe that it may be also perceived as oligarchy, where the state is ruled by a few people, right? So in theory, communism is not an oligarchy, and it's about all the working class people being evenly owning everything. But in reality, there's never been a true communist state in the world, because what happens is the people who are put in charge to manage it ends up holding on to the power and wanting to maintain the power, and it becomes more like an oligarchy. And we have an example of this in the extension slides this week, if you'd like to look at it at the USSR. So socialism is a economic model that falls between capitalism and communism, and people use it a lot as communism. So, but it's really it's a step in between, because it's a society in which the government or the people are in charge of only a few parts of the society. So for example, you might think of like countries that have socialized healthcare for everyone, like Canada or Sweden. But they still have private property, and they still have democratically elected leaders. So here is another video to explain the connection between socialism and communism and kind of the differences, because they overlapped. So in practice, all governments, whatever their form, are run by a small minority of people in the society, right? Because not everyone can run it when you're talking about millions of people. But it's to really look at the type of government, you have to look at how these individuals acquire and retain power, right? Are they only there? Are they elected? How long do they remain in power? Can they be ousted from their position? So that's how you really understand whether a system of government is an oligarchy or not. These are terms from last week, and they can also show up as oligarchies, right? For fascism, authoritarianism, and totalitarianism. These are some more terms that I think we've gone over most of these, except for, I don't remember, we did the elite, and those are the people with the most wealth and status in an oligarchy. We went over official oligarchy, unofficial, aristocracy, plutocracy. So these are all words involved with oligarchy. On the right, these are terms that refer to economic and social systems, which can be linked to a power structure or government in different ways. So you could have a nation that's communist or a capitalist oligarchy, but there are also communist capitalist nations within other power structures like democracies. So they come in all shapes and forms. And hopefully some of the videos will help you clear that out, and the slides for the extension, as I was mentioning. So, like last week, what I'd like you to do is to look through these slides, listen to what I have gone over in the videos, and then respond in to the assignment or to the comments section of this assignment. What are the benefits of an oligarchy for an individual or for the operation of how a society works? And what are might be some of the harms to individuals or to the operation of how society works? And you can post those. And then the last thing is to practice the Quizlet and use the flashcard mode, the learn and match modes. If you don't like the modes that require you to do spelling, then try a different mode. The flashcard and the match modes don't require that you know how to spell. And then test yourself. I know there's a little spelling in the testing. If you want to write down some of the terms so you know how to spell them, or just change your like if you got an 86 because you misspelled it, just tell me you got 100. You just had accidentally misspelled it, but you got the term correct. All right, and I think that's it for the week. If you have any questions, come to the office hours. It'd be great to see you and check in. Take care, guys.